Call on you. Okay. Anyone? Brooke, we'll go to you.
Sorry, I was having issues with the chat function, but Aliyah, just what was it like to finally get back out there after last season with it being cut short and you being able to continue on with your senior season?
It felt great. Obviously, it felt like forever. So being out there, like I'm always pretty anxious for the first game, no matter if it's my first one or my fifth one. But this time it was different. It was just like, we had our season cut short last year. Like, do we know what the future holds this year? Just thinking about giving it my all, every pitch, every play, just making sure that I'm giving all that I can have.
What did you see just from opening weekend that maybe impressed you or something you guys hadn't seen yet in practice, just from the team as a whole as far as strengths?
I would say our fight. Basically what we do in games is how we practice. Coaches practice how you're going to play. So everything like the plays Taylor Pleasant's made, she does that all the time in practice. So like seeing those, you're not as surprised because we see them every day, but the fight that we had to come back in some games and to just keep fighting is what I think was not surprising, but good to see in a game.
I have to ask you too about your diving catch. I think a coach as well as a few of the players we talked to said you had wings out there in the outfield. Just can you describe what was going through your mind during that play?
I just thought I needed to catch the ball. So I was like, do whatever you can to catch it. We were down and I was just I think we were down at that point. Was just, trying to get the last out and didn't want to run to score, didn't want to be down by anymore. So I just did what I thought I needed to do and fly through the air.
Thanks.
Aliyah, what is an example of the fight that you were talking about, just to be able to respond after the Duke game? I'm not sure you expected to maybe have drop one that early in the season, but you did. You bounced back and had to fight your way back to the Kansas game.
Yeah, I think the way that we came back the next day was very positive. Nobody was down. We all knew it was just like, we're gonna get it the next game. We're gonna figure things out. We do have a lot of young people, and so it's just a matter of kind of getting the swing of things. And then our fight in the Kansas game also showed. So I think everybody just has strong mind, strong willed, and we know that, we can go out there and be better each game.
There are a lot of, young girls in this team who will make, road trips for the first time this week. How valuable, if you can get all the games in, obviously leading up to Alabama, just how significant it would be for this young team to get on the road and develop, that part of, going into a hostile environment and trying to, and play.
Yeah, so you get better as you play in this sport, especially going to big schools like Alabama. So I think all the young people that are going to see, how we travel, be in an environment like Alabama, it's just going to prepare them for any other game that we have moving forward. Like you don't get as much better than an atmosphere like Alabama. So I think it'll prepare all of us.
Aliyah, can you hear me?
Yes.
You look like you're still cold from the weekend.
Freezing.
Tell me your thought process when you were weighing the options of coming back or moving on to whatever is next for you post-graduation. What were some of the things that you weighed, that you considered that led to either leaving or retaining this season?
So for me, it wasn't like the hardest decision. I knew that I wanted to get my graduate degree and start my master's. So for me, I was like, if I'm gonna be at school getting another degree, I might as well be playing the sport that I love and get another chance to do it. So thankfully for me, it wasn't that hard of a decision. Unfortunately for some other seniors around the country, it was, people had jobs lined up and things like that. So I was very fortunate to be able to stay and know that I could, keep going with my education.
What was your undergraduate degree in, and what are you pursuing as a master's?
My undergraduate degree was in sports administration, commerce, and then my master's degree is in mass communications.
Okay, thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Aliyah, with your experience, having gone through the program, you always have had lots of showdowns and matchups with Alabama. I'm not trying to discount the other games in this tournament, but you and I get a chance to play against them last year, and you're not scheduled to play them in the SEC schedule. So how important is it to just to see them, to keep that rivalry going? And obviously you want to get the upper hand. They're a very good team.
Yeah, it's exciting to always be able to play like super good opponents. When you play big schools and teams that are ranked high, you gotta play to win, not play to not lose. So just giving all that we have it's a good feeling to just know that you kind of have nothing to lose. You're just going out there playing your hardest, and we're gonna have good competition, and facing good competition also just prepares you for anybody else that you're going to play. So.
Aliyah, you mentioned you're cold. Just curious, over the last, 48 hours or whatever, that's been the top story on the news, and obviously what everyone's talking about it. Any funny stories to share with you and your teammates, or anything funny that's happened, or how you feel about how freezing it's been?
I don't know about funny, but this morning I couldn't scrape ice off my car. So that just shows you I'm a Florida girl. I had no idea how to do it. So it took me a good minute to try and actually get on the road this morning, but I figured it out. But I guess something funny is, if you guys would have seen all the things that we had on our bodies this weekend, like it was a mess. We had like all kind of heating pads on our skin, under our unders, layered up with like 4 unders, just anything to do to be warm. So people went to the max to find a way.
Taylor said you guys improved a lot in that regard from game 1 to game 2, right? You learned, like, you were really cold the first night, right?
Yes. I was still really cold the second night too, but I figured out, I brought like actual hand warming gloves in the dugout this time. So in between innings, I had those on, and you definitely learn from the experience. That's for sure.
If I could ask you one more, you've always been the speedster and get on base person. What about the power in this lineup? You guys had a lot of home runs this past, just in a few games there. How much power do you think this lineup's going to have this year?
So much. I don't even, like, the home runs that we had this weekend, I was kind of expecting, and the people that are hitting the home runs just are putting in so much work. Sierra, who, she's a triple threat. I wasn't necessarily expecting a home run from her, but she's been putting in so much work that it wasn't as surprising, but it was so exciting to see it because she had been putting in so much work and focusing on her power game and things like that. So the power in this lineup is I think it's pretty unmatched when it comes from like top of the lineup to the bottom. Everybody can do it. So it's exciting.
All right. Aliyah, you're good. And we'll get Coach in here next.
Yeah, thanks.